All right, everybody, it's big, it's blue, it's badass, and it's one of the best things that came out of the 80s. Let's go. Okay, everybody, today we're looking back at 1983's Blue Thunder. Oh my God, way before Airwolf made killer helicopters look corny, Blue Thunder was making that shit look awesome. But before we go any further, as always, to the trailer.
What brings you to air support?
Kind of like the idea of it. No guns, no kicking indoors, you know, just quiet.
Oh, yeah.
For Frank Murphy, policing the air has its ups.
Welcome to air support. Got a runaway.
And downs.
Well, I just wanted to say, sir, that was my fault. I talked Murphy into taking us there.
You're supposed to be stupid, son. Don't abuse the privilege.
Columbia Pictures presents Roy Scheider, Blue Thunder.
I thought it was illegal to arm police helicopters.
A flying arsenal that hears through walls, sees in the dark, and thinks your thoughts.
Wherever you look, the guns follow.
They told Murphy to test it.
Doesn't at least compass and you can run the whole damn country.
They didn't tell him what it was for.
It's totally unsuitable for our purpose.
But when Murphy went looking for answers,
Got all this on tape?
I get every word of it.
the answer came looking for him. They had the ultimate weapon, the perfect plan. But Murphy stole their thunder.
Okay, this cinematic masterpiece was directed by John Badham. Now, he did stuff like Saturday Night Fever. He did War Games. We're talking about Short Circuit, Bird on a Wire, American Flyers, Stakeout, which was a cool comedy, Point of No Return, Drop Zone, Nick of Time, and then he went on to do like a whole bunch of friggin' TV shows and stuff like that. I don't know why, because he should have stayed in the movies, because this guy was awesome. Anyway, John Badham did this. Bam. Okay, playing Frank Murphy, Officer Frank Murphy, is the legendary Roy Scheider. What more needs to be said? We are talking, obviously, Jaws. We are talking one of my all-time favorite movies in any time, any place, anywhere, The 7-Ups. We're talking about The French Connection and all that jazz and 52 Pickup and 2010, Russia House and Night Game and Marathon Man. And he went on TV in that Sequest, CSD, DSV, whatever the hell that TV show was, whatever. Roy Scheider, one of the all-time greats. Nothing needs to be more said than that. Okay, playing Captain Braddock was Warren Oates. I love Warren Oates. We're talking Stripes. We're talking Badlands. We're talking The Wild Bunch, In the Heat of the Night, Tough Enough, 92 in the Shade, The Thief Who Came into Dinner, Two-Lane Blacktop, Heroes Island, Dillinger, and a bunch of TV work on top of that. So Warren Oates, man, rest your soul, homeboy, because you were the shit. Okay, playing Kate was Candy Clark. Now, how can you not know and remember and love Candy Clark, man? We're talking, she had that cute little voice and that cute face and all that kind of shit. You know, she was synonymous with the 70s and 80s. Anyway, she was in this. She was in The Man Who Fell to Earth. She was in American Graffiti, The Big Sleep, Q, Amityville 3D, At Close Range, The Blob, Cherry Falls, Zodiac, a bunch of TV shows like, you know, Hunter and Simon and whatever. She was in a bunch of shit. Candy Clark, gotta love her. She was just synonymous with that period in time. Popped up all over the place. Bam! Okay, playing Lymangood, or Jaffo, if you will, was Daniel Stern, who was in one of my all-time favorite movies, Breaking Away. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it. Go watch it. But he was in a bunch of other stuff. We're talking, he was in those Home Alone flicks. He was in Starting Over and Stardust Memories and Honky Tonk Freeway and Hannah and Her Sisters, Chud, Born in East L.A., The Boss's Wife, My Blue Heaven, The Milagro Beanfield War, City Slickers, Leviathan, another thing you got to check out. We'll get around to it sooner or later. Whatever. Daniel Stern, bam, gotta love him. Playing the evil Colonel Cochrane. Malcolm McDowell, come on, we all know Malcolm McDowell. He's been in some of my favorite shit of all time. I love Cat People, and he was in Cat People. He was obviously in A Clockwork Orange. He was in stuff like Star Trek Generations, Moon 44, and Caligula, and Class of 1999, Jezebel's Kiss, In the Eye of the Snake, Fatal Pursuit. He's just been in so much shit you can't even name it all. Anyway, he's in this, whatever. Yes. I gotta give a quick shout out. I'm not gonna go big into his career. I'm really not. But there was a guy in this motion picture who played, one of the government henchmen type stuff, named Anthony James, and he was in a bunch of shit, whether it was like Burnt Offerings or whether it was High Plains Drifter. You seen the face, the acne scars and that certain look. He was in a bunch of shit back in the day. I just wanted to bring up his name just because he deserves it. The guy's probably been forgotten in the annals of time. That's bullshit. Anyway, he's in this. God damn it, let's just get to the story. All right, everybody, I'm going to try to give you this story in about 90 seconds, and I'm not going to give you the whole thing, obviously, but I'm going to give you enough to go on. You got Frank Murphy. He's a pilot with the Astro Division, helicopter pilot, police officer. He gets a brand new partner, Jaffo. You'll get that later. Anyway, Lymangood. They are assigned to work together. So Murphy's breaking in Lymangood. He's flying him around the city, doing everything that cops do, spotting criminals, peeking in windows, having a good time. Anyway, they come across a situation where somebody is being mugged, raped, call it what you will. They're calling it rape, but the cops are saying it was a mugging. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. You'll find out why. But as time goes on, you see these two guys get called up for a new assignment. And what's the new assignment? To be the pilot and the observers of this new super duper wonker whopping helicopter known as Blue Thunder. And Blue Thunder is loaded with a 20mm cannon, and it's got all kinds of armament, and it's loaded with microphones and devices to snoop on people and everything like that. It's everything that you're kind of not supposed to have flying over the heads of civilians. But anyway, back to the point. So they get called up for this duty to be the new break-in team for this new urban crowd control helicopter. But what is the real reason the government wants this urban crowd control helicopter? Are they in cahoots with the feds with this urban crowd control helicopter? Are the police and the feds working together with this new urban crowd control helicopter for the public's good or not the public's good? Are they stirring up problems in the lower income neighborhoods just to have an excuse to have this thing made and put in there? Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's a hint. Did I give you too much already? I hate when I do shit like that. But an extra bonus. Officer Murphy is also suffering from PTSD because he had a hard time in Vietnam, and that plays into this motion picture, and part of it is because of a certain person that he had to deal with in Vietnam. And that comes into the motion picture. Malcolm McDowell. Anyway, I've probably given you too much already, and that's a lot, and it's fast, and I'm throwing it at you because I want you to see it and not listen to me, and I want you to experience it and not go by what I'm saying. You'll get the point. I don't want to ruin it for you. Anyway, let's get to why I love this motion picture. Okay, folks, I'm going to tell you why I love this motion picture. This motion picture is everything that is fucking cool to come out of the 80s. It's still got a little bit of that 70s vibe. It wasn't as crazy and as goofy as the 80s went on to be. This motion picture is just a perfect action thriller. I mean, it was directed great. John Badham had that kind of like camera on the shoulder style, like you were almost watching an episode of Cops half the time. You know what I mean? You felt like you were kind of in it, not the dolly shots and all that kind of stuff. Everybody in this motion picture nailed their acting roles. They were perfect. They weren't too over the top to make you sit there and say this is just a cartoon or something stupid or something goofy, and they weren't so low-key that it wasn't interesting. Everybody was spot on, from Candy Clark to Roy Scheider, who's always spot on, to Malcolm McDowell, catch you later, all that kind of stuff. These guys were phenomenal in this motion picture. The acting was off the chart, spot on. The action scenes, this is one of those things that I'm telling you now, when you watch this motion picture, this was the old way of making motion pictures. They got a couple of pilots up there, stuntmen pilots, and they got them in real helicopters, 3 or 4 of them, and they're doing some of the craziest fucking flying you ever seen on celluloid. Yes, there's a little bit of shit thrown in there that wasn't really there, like the F-16s and all that kind of stuff. You can tell that was added in, blah, blah, blah. But those helicopter chases were off the charts. The police chases and car chases were off the charts. They had a motorcycle in a chase off the charts. Jesus Christ, there was a naked chick doing yoga in this thing too. What more could you want from a motion picture than this? It was fun, it was entertaining, it was suspenseful, it was loaded with drama. You had everything from action to titties to gunfire. Blue Thunder was the shit. They made a TV show out of it a couple of years later or whatever, and that thing just sucked balls. And then they cranked out Airwolf, and that thing was like a fucking cartoon. Okay, I don't mean to offend anybody. I know there's some people out there that are going to be like, Airwolf, Airwolf, don't say that shit about Airwolf. Okay, we all liked it. But I'm just saying it wasn't in the league of this. Blue Thunder is one of the all-time great action and automotive, meaning some machine that takes you somewhere, movies. Fun, exciting, to the point, great. And oh, by the way, I say this in a lot of movies that are good, but it never deviated from what it was. It didn't try to become a fucking comedy or some kind of stupid shit like that. It was what it was, and it did it right. All right, folks, that's all I got for you this week. But I'll have more videos coming and some other stuff in the pipe. Go out, check out Blue Thunder, have a good time. In the meantime, watch something cool, tell a friend about it, take care of a neighbor, look out for a loved one, look out for yourself. Peace, bye, take care.